Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is India, and in today's video, I am answering all your questions.
Tell me what it is, what you want from me, what you want from me.
Okay, so before we get into anything, I want to drop a quick disclaimer. Just be reminded, I am not a medical professional. I am not a dietitian. So anything I'm sharing, I know I am going to get some questions pertaining to my weight loss. Anything I'm sharing is going to be just my journey, my personal journey with weight loss, family, friends, or whatever. So I'm not suggesting anything. And also, I've gotten a few questions about loose skin, extra skin after losing over 130 pounds. So I will be in my undergarments at one point in the video. I'm going to try to add some clips just to show you what I'm working with, because I've been getting a ton of questions just about my loose extra skin, what you can do to prevent it, blah, blah, blah. So just a disclaimer, if you don't want to see that, you might want to skip over this one. Alright guys, so let's start off with a quick background. This is going to be a few questions, and I think it pretty much sets the foundation for this video. A lot of people, especially people who are not familiar with me, wants to know, how much weight have you lost? They want to know my stats, like my age, my height, my weight, and they want to know how long it took for me to lose all of my weight. Okay, so I started this weight loss journey. I've been on a weight loss train for a long time. This is the first time I've actually been successful with my weight loss. So if you look up the definition of successful weight loss, it'll tell you a certain percentage of weight that you lose, a certain amount of time that you're able to maintain that, keep it off. So this is actually the first time I've been successful with my weight loss. My journey started April 2019. The foundation in which I started losing weight was me counting calories. That's how it started. From there, I just started learning more and just being more aware of nutrition and anything else pertaining to weight loss and health. So it took me, I want to say it took me about a year to lose about 70 pounds. Well, let me start here. Overall, from my heaviest to my current weight, I have lost just slightly over 130 pounds. My heaviest weight was around 260. I'm currently around 130. I'm a little bit lower than 130, but I like just saying 130. That's where I am. So I will say that first year is where I lost the bulk of my weight. I lost about 70 to 80 pounds. From April 2019 to April of 2020. And then in 2020 is when I lost the additional 30 pounds, giving me that 100 pound, milestone. And then from there, after 2021, I was losing 10 pounds here and there, and it just started adding up. So I lost 100 pounds within about a year and a half, 2 years. I am currently 38 years of age. I am 5'6". I'm a little under 5'6", but I'm about 5'6" in height. And again, my weight is around 130 pounds. My BMI, I want to say is it 21? 21.5? My BMI is anywhere between 21 and 22. Okay, this is a really good question. It states, what was your motivation for losing weight? And I don't know if this is good, but I'm gonna answer the question. What really pushed me and kicked me to really wanting to lose weight and wanting to make permanent changes is the fact that I was gaining weight slowly, but I had reached a point to where I was at my heaviest. So I've always been obese. I've always been bigger, thicker, curvy, whatever you want to call it. But it had got to the point where I was gaining weight, and I kept just creeping up to the point where I was losing, the weight that I'm normally am. I was creeping up, and that scared me because I was seeing new numbers, and the scale kept going up. And I'm like, I gotta stop this. What's going on? I felt like I was living my same lifestyle, living a normal lifestyle, and I kept gaining weight. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to lose weight, because it was getting out of control. It was getting to a point to where in a year's time, if I was gaining weight at the rate that I was gaining weight, it would have been a big problem. It would have been a medical problem. It would have been a whole lot of issues. So fear, a little bit of fear, motivated me to lose weight. And I've always wanted to lose weight, but at this point around, I was scared. I'm like, I got to do something. And also around that time, my sister was getting sick. You know, that's, you know, if you haven't watched videos of my family, you got to watch that. My oldest sister suffered from a massive stroke that left her handicapped. And so just seeing that, my mom was getting sick. She had a diagnosis of heart failure, and then she had a series of mini strokes, and then she ended up having a big stroke as well. And so I'm like, I was tired. And at the time I felt like my health was declining. I had respiratory issues. I had a really bad cough that I couldn't get rid of. I didn't know all of this was associated with just me being overweight, but just a series of things happened, and I was scared, and I'm like, it's either now or never. So that's one of the biggest things that motivated me this time around. So the next question, to piggyback off of what motivated me to lose weight, I also got the question, how did you stay the course? I think the biggest thing I did to actually stay on course and to keep going with my weight loss journey, my health journey, fitness journey, wellness journey, whatever we're calling it, is the fact that I was able to make small adjustments. To whereas in the past, I was just going extremely hard, cutting food groups, losing a little bit of weight, and then gaining it all back because, you know, none of that is sustainable. So this time around, I thought long term. So instead of doing diets, looking on the internet, seeing what the popular diet is, I just started really evaluating myself, making changes where needed, being realistic with myself, because I know I'm not giving up anybody's food group. You know, it might cause temporary weight loss, but in the long haul, am I giving up something for the rest of my life? Probably not. And so I started making small changes, maybe substituting something that's real sugary with something that's sugar-free. I talk about this a lot, but that's one of the things that just kept me going, is knowing that it's realistic, it's doable, it's not feeling like a diet because I'm not heavily restricting myself. And so that keeps me going even now. I've been on this journey for years. Even now, just knowing that it's doable. Everybody like, well, how do you do it? How do you do this every single day? It's life. I do it. It's easy because I'm not making these huge adjustments. I'm not turning my life completely around. Okay, will you do OMAD for the rest of your life as a lifestyle? Good question. I'm a faster. I'm an intermittent faster. So I started this whole journey counting calories. And the more I did that, the more I learned that, you know, with me counting calories, I want to incorporate some intermittent fasting. So I incorporated intermittent fasting, learned about all the fasting benefits, and I just made it a part of my routine, a part of my life. So if you're not familiar, OMAD is an acronym for 1 meal a day. For the most part, I eat only 1 meal a day. If it's any kind of special occasions, if it's something where I'm not in my typical routine, I'm attending a wedding or a party or something, of course, I have less strict rules. But as far as like the lifestyle of doing 1 meal, I see myself doing this for a very long time. Now, I can't say for the rest of my life, but I do see myself doing this for a very long time because now I've become accustomed to it. That's just when I eat. During my feeding window, that's when my hunger peaks. So even if I was to eat breakfast and lunch, I feel like I would be forcing myself to do that because my body is used to not getting breakfast, not getting lunch. So me skipping breakfast and lunch is not really a big deal. It's just what I do. And so I do see myself doing this long term, even when I'm doing, you know, diet challenges, anything, fruit challenges, fruit fasts. I find myself still eating only 1 time a day. So I love OMAD. It just works for me. It makes it easier for me to achieve my calorie deficit. And for now, this is what this is what helps your girl maintain her weight. Is OMAD. It saves me a lot. I will say OMAD is my savior. When all else fails and I need to get on track or do better, I turn to OMAD. I love this question. It is pertaining to me being an artist and pertaining to my profession. So she states, I know you're an artist. Do you have any goals related to your profession? Whoo, child. Y'all, I'm old. I'm too old to be trying to figure myself out. But I will say, in the future, I would love whatever I'm doing to make a living. I want for it to be creative. So whether that's creating content, whether that's any kind of visual arts, anything of that nature, I feel like I need to be doing something creative. I haven't made any goals yet because I'm just all over the place. My face painting has been picking up a lot. I stay booked maybe 2 to 3 times every single week doing my face painting gigs. That's something I've learned to love. I've picked up. I'm growing. And so I don't know where that's going to take me. Also, I do graphic design. I illustrate children's books. I do a lot. And so eventually I will have to narrow that down because I'm working full time and I'm doing just a lot of different projects, trying to juggle a lot of different projects. And so I'm still trying to figure out, like, how am I going to make that work? What's going to be more beneficial to me? Is it going to be face painting? Is it going to be something else? Because when the pandemic happened, my face painting business slowed completely down. So back then, a few years ago, I thought that was it for face paint. And then a year or two go by and then it picked up tremendously. So I don't know what my future hold. I need stability. That is why I work full time. I need stability. I don't know if art is going to provide me with any kind of stability. Like, I need to be stable. So if I meet me a husband who's rich and he allows me to do my art, then we'll do that. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But yeah, the only goal I have as far as like art and my profession is to just keep growing and to see where it takes me. I try not to limit myself. Okay, when you're not watching what you eat, what is your guilty pleasure? Ooh, Lord. I have a lot of those. That's the thing. Guys, I don't know what it is. I've never been like this before, but I love chocolate. And a lot of times when I am eating chocolate, I'll get the zero sugar brand or the sugar-free, anything sugar-free substitute. That's usually what I get. It helps me. It soothes my sweet tooth. But I've been into chocolate. Chocolate. I love chocolate. One of my favorite foods is banana pudding. Like, just a good old homemade banana pudding. I love it. Honey, look, I don't know where I'm getting this sweet tooth from. But anything sweet, I'll eat some candy, some donuts. But I think my number one would have to be chocolate. And then number 2 is going to be a very close second, that banana pudding. So those 2 are my guilty pleasures. What makes them guilty is I eat a lot of them. I eat a lot. You know, one piece here and there, that's all good. But no, I'm gonna eat whatever's in front of me. Like, I'm gonna eat everything in the store. That's why I fall guilty. Oof. When will you start to eat for maintenance and not for weight loss? This is a really good question because when you've been in the mindset for years of losing weight, when your routine consists of you losing weight for years, it's hard to switch into maintenance mode. And so I catch myself sometimes, I'm like, dang, I'm losing too much weight. I'm losing too much weight. And I've never been afraid of being like underweight or losing too much weight because I can easily gain weight. So that's an easy fix. But weight maintenance is so hard. I feel like you have to be more on point to maintain your weight than you do to lose weight and to gain weight, right? We all know what to do to gain weight. That's easy. We all know what to do to lose weight. You don't necessarily have to track it. But when you're trying to just maintain your weight and just maintain that perfect number, not lose, not gain, but just that perfect medium, that is so hard. You got to figure out your numbers. You got to crunch your numbers. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not encouraging anyone to be like obsessed with numbers, but weight maintenance is hard. And so sometimes I find myself just losing a little bit of weight. Not a lot of weight. I find myself losing a little bit of weight just because it's easier. I'd rather lose weight than gain weight. My goal is not to go backwards and start gaining weight back. And so just to make it easier for me, I'll lose weight. And then if it gets to the point where my weight is too low, I'll just cut back some. And so One thing I'm working on is like just getting into maintenance mode and to live more normal, if that makes sense. I don't know, but yeah, that's one thing I'm working on in the near future is just to try to maintain my weight and not try to focus on losing, so much weight. So that's a good question. All right, guys, let's cut to it. Let's get into this one. This is a big one. This is a big question. There's a couple of questions. A few people have asked me, do you have loose skin, and can you discuss your loose skin? And also someone asked, is your skin tightening as time goes on? So, the short answer, yes, I do have loose skin. I have plenty of loose skin. Unfortunately, could it be worse? I think it could. I actually made a video a few years ago. It's probably been 3 years at this point, but I made a video a few years ago all about my extra skin, my loose skin after losing weight. The reason I made that video is because I was so triggered. I posted a picture online in one of the groups on Facebook. I posted this picture, just me in a swimsuit versus the model in a swimsuit. And someone took it the wrong way, so they just started going in on me, started talking about my imperfections and my sagginess and everything of that sort. And so that's when I made my video about my extra skin and how it's there. I'm proud of it. If I decide to remove it over time, that's just what I'll do. But I made a video. I might link it in my description. If you're an OG and you saw that video, then great. I might link it. But so what I will do is I'll start inserting some clips. So I do have loose skin. I try to camouflage it as needed. I try to wear clothes that's flattering to my body. And I'm just going to add a screen here. But I have a lot of it. I have a lot of problem areas. Pretty much my entire body is a problem area. I have it like on my neck. All of this is loose skin. My neck, my arms are a problem. If I really wrinkle up my arms, you'll see the wrinkles and everything. My thighs, my stomach, my breasts. But in the clips that you're watching, I'll just kind of stand and show you how I look as is, just in normal garments or whatever, just as is. If I'm just standing as is, not manipulating my skin, it doesn't look too bad. But it's a lot worse than it looks. Once I start manipulate my stomach, you can really see my skin. Once I start lifting up the skin and kind of stretching it out some, you can definitely see where I have a lot of loose skin. Considered getting it removed, considered all kind of procedures, and right now that's still on the table. I haven't ruled it out yet, but I'm really just not sold on it. There's a lot of risks that comes along with removing extra skin. Any kind of procedure, really, there's a lot of risk. And I don't know, I'm just not 100% sold on it. Maybe one day, this is for another video, I'm sharing too much, but maybe one day I'll share my experience. I might go get a consultation just to see what can be done for me to weigh out my options even more by talking to a professional, having them look at what I'm working with. But so again, I'll you'll see what you see. I'm gonna try not to show you everything because this is something that I get very vulnerable when it comes to this subject. But yeah, but I'm still don't get it twisted. Don't listen. Let's go to the next question. And so real quick to discuss some things that you can do to reduce the appearance of your loose skin. Some of the things I wish I would have did at the beginning of my weight loss journey. I didn't intend on losing a lot of weight. It just so happened I kept losing weight. My original goal was to get down to 200 pounds. But of course I wanted to keep going. So one thing you can do is just take it slow. The slower it takes for you to lose your weight, the more time your skin has to retract. So if you lose 100 pounds and you do that in 1 month versus someone who loses 100 pounds in 2 years, that person is going to have less loose skin because you're giving your body time to adjust, right? Losing 10 pounds at a time, your body is able to kind of wheel it back in versus losing all your weight in 2 months, right? And so slow down when losing your weight. Be patient. I know we all want to get this weight off of us, but slow down. That is the number one thing you can do to help with the appearance of loose skin and to reduce the risk of having loose skin. Protein and a collagen supplement. You know, I'm not this whole protein girly or whatever, but some kind of supplement of collagen that helps with the elasticity of your skin, the appearance of your skin, the health of your skin. That's something I wish I would have started off taking as well. Weight training. Weight training is a big one. You know, when you build muscle, you fill in your skin a little bit more, if that makes sense. So weight training can definitely reduce the appearance of loose skin. You guys got to look into all this. Definitely look into all this. And the last one is fasting, autophagy fasting. I watch a channel here on YouTube, A Healthy Alternative, which is just a fasting network. They do a lot of extensive fasting, a lot of water fasting, a lot of extended fasting, long-term fasting, lifestyle fasting. And autophagy, which is basically cellular repair, it gets rid of your old cells, it rejuvenates new cells, and this is old skin cells as well. So a lot of people who use fasting as a tool for weight loss, they claim they don't have loose skin. I think I saw an interview where Chris James did with one guy. He had probably lost 150 pounds. He lost a significant amount of weight. Anytime you losing over 100 pounds, you might get some skin on you. But he had lost a significant amount of weight, and he mentioned he does not suffer from having loose skin. And so, you know, fasting is something I got into later on in my journey, but, you know, autophagy fasting, again, collagen supplements, taking your time, weight training, those are things you can do if you are concerned with developing loose skin on your weight loss journey. Someone wants to know, is my skin tightening up as time goes by? You know what? And I didn't really pay attention to this, but I started, you know, comparing the two videos I did, the video I did 3 years ago versus now, because I'm even smaller now than I was years ago. And I've noticed some changes, like in my chest area. I feel like that has improved some from back then. Like I was looking really, really shriveled up, very wrinkled. But for the most part, I think, I don't know, it's hard to tell. I do see improvement, but very, very little improvement. That's because I look at myself every day. Every day, y'all, I am in the mirror critiquing myself. Don't do that. Don't be obsessed. You know, don't do that. I'm not suggesting it, but I do. I look at myself every day, and I feel like it's not as bad as it could be and as it was. And so I do feel like my skin is improving over time, especially with me getting older. You'll be like, what? You know, my age, I have a child, I have a lot of things that's factoring into my body, you know, dropping low and looking how it looks. So I think I'm being better over time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do an update in another year and we'll do a side by side. So that's a pretty good idea. And I love that question. Okay, so if a calorie deficit is the only thing that matters when it comes to weight loss, then why do you do OMAD and why do you fast? The simple answer is a calorie deficit, when it all boils down to it, there's so many layers to weight loss, and it's not as cut and dry and as simple. It is simple, but it's not. So a calorie deficit, in order to achieve weight loss, you must be in a calorie deficit. That it is what it is. But for me, fasting is like a tool that helps me achieve my calorie deficit. And on top of that, there are so many benefits to fasting. You have, you know, people do it for spiritual reasons. People do it for autophagy, cellular repair. And so, yes, I'm achieving my calorie deficit when I fast, and it's easier because I'm not having to track 3, 5, 6 meals a day. I'm only having to worry about my one meal for the day. But you're getting so many more benefits when you fast as well. Mental clarity, you're getting skin improvement, hair improvement. There's a lot of benefits that come along with fasting, and I'm just a fan of. Alrighty, this is a different one. Y'all might be disappointed with the answer because I'm kind of boring. What are your favorite binge-worthy shows or series on Hulu and or Netflix? Whew. Guys, I watch YouTube. Now, there are some binge-worthy channels that I watch on YouTube. I watch a lot of people on YouTube, but I don't think I've watched a show or a series in a while, to be honest. And if I do watch something on YouTube, or not YouTube, or on Netflix, it's probably like a documentary about health or weight loss. I love weight loss documentaries. You know what? One of my favorite shows, I guess this is the answer. My favorite show is My 600-Pound Life. That is one of my absolute favorite shows. Don't judge me. I don't know why, but that's one of the things that I will binge watch. I will watch old episodes of My 600-Pound Life. I feel like Dr. Now, that's my husband. I'm married to that man. He just don't know it. He hasn't met me yet, but that's my husband. So yeah, My 600-Pound Life. That's my favorite show. What are your go-to airport food snacks while traveling? Snacks while traveling. That's a good question. Well, first of all, I don't travel a lot. With the way my life is set up, and y'all asking me these questions, I feel like I'm disappointing. Like, I'm not fun. I'm not fun. I'm not a real person. So usually when I go somewhere, I know my family and I took a trip to the beach. We found a grocery store that was nearby. I think it was like the Walmart superstore market or whatever. And so I hurried up and went to that Walmart. Honey, I was buying all kind of apples, bananas, things that don't necessarily have to be cooked or prepped too much. So I will say one of my favorite go-to snacks is going to be fruit. It's easy. Everybody want to talk about the convenience of fast food, drive-thrus, and that sort of thing. To be honest, if you want a snack, you can easily go to a grocery store, go to their produce section, buy a bag of apples, buy a container of strawberries. Boom, you can eat that joint right out, just rinse it real quick. Like, it's not as hard as people make it out to be, because like with the drive-thru, you still gotta, do whatever. But I love fruit for when I'm just out traveling, when I'm on the run. Fruit is my go-to. I love you and your sister's unique names. Any fun backstory to your mom's choices? I love it. So again, my name is India. I have a sister named England. I have a sister named Paris. England's twin name is Ingrid. Now, I almost want to say she was kind of left out the loop. But her name is Ingrid. And my daughter, her name is Asia. So we're all named after places. I feel like we've asked our mom this story before, like what inspired her to name us, places. And honestly, I think it's because she just wanted to. I should have asked her this before. See, I didn't prepare for this Q&A because I wanted it to be as raw and as honest as possible. But I should have asked my mom this. I feel like she told us like a while ago, but we be ignoring her sometimes. But some people like to assume that it's places that she wanted to travel. My mama, we're not a traveling family. So I think she just liked the idea and the theme of like different countries, different cities, different places. But I like that question. I like it. I'm here for it. But I might give an update to this video. And I want to do a part 2. This is not going to be the only Q&A. I've done this before. Years ago, I did another Q&A. That one's pretty good because on that one, we're talking about friends, sex, family. So if y'all want to go watch that one, I'll leave that linked in this description as well. A lot of these were based on like, weight loss and my personal journey, and I love it. I'm here for it. When you eat a lot of fresh produce, do you have to shop twice a week or more? Absolutely. And even when I feel like I buy a lot of produce, a lot of people just don't buy a lot of produce at once because they have the fear that it will go bad. I actually buy a lot at once because I know I eat for volume. I eat very high volume. So foods that are high in nutrients and low in calories, that's my go-to. That's what I eat 90% of the time. So I don't have a problem with produce going bad in my house. It does not go bad. Maybe them bananas here and there, but I've been doing good lately. And still, with me buying the amount of food that I buy, the amount of produce I buy, I still find myself at the grocery store more than once a week. It's exhausting, but it's worth it. I'll that extra trip and me being healthy, it is totally worth it. So I do shop multiple times in a week. Okay, and we made it to the last question. Hopefully I got all the questions. I feel like I did, but if not, leave me a question in the comments below and we'll do another video. If you missed the post on this time around, I might post something else to my community page. So if you guys aren't following me, if you're not subscribed, do that. Last question. I know you count calories, but do you count your macros like protein? Ooh, I should, but to be completely honest, calories are the only thing that I count. I feel like if my calories are in line with where they need to be and I am eating balanced, then everything else falls into place. So that doesn't mean I'm eating 1,700 calories of cake every day. Yeah, that's 1,700 calories. That's maintenance calories, calorie deficit. But if I'm eating decent food, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, whole single ingredient foods, and I'm within the calories where I need to be, I feel like everything else falls into place, whether it's the carbohydrates, the fats, the proteins, everything else will be fine. Just track something. So I don't track any macros. If I'm doing like a specific challenge, I remember one time I did like keto for a week. If I'm doing something like that, I would probably have to track my macros a little bit more because that's like a high fat diet. So all in all, calories are the only things that I track. I know if I'm eating high protein foods, like if I'm eating chicken breast and I'm eating a good amount, I'm not going to count the protein on that exactly, but I know I'm still getting like a high protein day. So all of these are so good questions. They're all good. They're all great questions and I love them all. Again, if you missed this one and you want to ask me something, please drop me a comment below. That is it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love doing these. I love sitting down and talking, child. If you my friend, don't come around me because I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to you, especially if it's about weight loss or food. You won't get me to shut up. Again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this comment, consider subscribing to my channel. I'm trying to grow. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to go places with this channel, see where it takes me. So consider subscribing. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a yellow heart. Let me know that you're here. I appreciate all the support. Again. Thank you so much for watching this video. Good luck on your journeys, and I will see you in the next one.
Like so. Tell me what it is, what you want from me, what you want from me.